So I've had intellectual realizations that, there isn't really anybody doing anything. Like when the me appears, it's not the me that decides to appear, it just appears.
Yeah,
But I feel like there's something missing in that realization that it's not with my whole being. Like it's just
yeah,
with it's more than intellect it's more than just an airy fairy intellectual thing, but
yeah,
it's not with the whole of me yet.
yeah,
I'd like for you to describe the difference between the two.
yeah. So to me, the shift is an energetical shift. And what happens when you're awakening? So when you're, I mean, that's a very grandiose title, awakening. But when this is beginning to be seen, when that's happening, there is like this in and out. So there is this energetic expansion where you feel more in flow and more seeing that there is nobody, and seeing how impersonal this life is, and that there isn't separation. And it's not an intellectual seeing, it's a knowing. So it's this expansive energy. And then there is this contracting energy, and there's a contraction, and then you feel very focused on the separate person and the person's life and the stories it's telling. And this seems to happen when getting into this subject and when having these awakenings, or whatever we want to call them, is this fluctuation between expanding and contracting. And often what happens is that when we expand, we have positive feelings. So because there's less seeking when we're expanding. So there's less seeking, there's more positive feelings, and we don't really notice that we're expanding. But if the next time you feel happy, you look at the situation, you'll realize that you feel less located. You think the happiness is maybe your partner, or like your job or your situation, but it's actually because of feeling more expanded.
Yeah.
And then when you feel more contracted or more suffering or more pain, you'll realize that you feel very dense and very located in the body. And when you have these expansions, if you're into this subject as well, simultaneously, you're seeing all these things, the mind will have intellectual realizations as well. And then the body-mind gets updated with this information. So it'll realize that things are just happening. It will realize that there isn't somebody there. And then the mind can become more calm, or the mind can become more peaceful with itself. Because normally the mind has lots of like abstractions and unnecessary thoughts going on.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I've noticed the mind is always active. It's always running the same treadmill,
Yeah,
especially like daydreams. It creates this fantasy. It projects something in the future that it wants to grab, and it says, that's my happiness. And it's
yeah,
doing that all the time.
yeah, 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 totally. The more you're into this subject and the more that you have these awakenings or these expansions, that will begin to fall away. So your fantasies about these happinesses, so whether it be buying a house or money or whatever it is, they will begin to dissipate, because it's like in the mind. Well, what happens in the mind is it begins to learn through experience that it never works. These fantasies never work. They never actually give you what you're looking for. So it just begins to dissolve those fantasies. And that you'll still have like momentum. So you'll still have a desire to eat, or desire for sexuality, or a desire for having a home, for comfort. But they will become reduced. They'll be a lot less important. They'll just be seen as functionings. But they're just pleasure and pain. And you have a certain amount of pleasure and pains, then you begin to realize it's the same. And really what you're looking for is this expansiveness.
Yeah, to not be me.
Yeah, yeah, to not be limited.
Mm. Mm. I think
Where?
that's it, honestly.
Oh yeah, nice. Whereabouts in the UK are you from?
Kent.
Okay, yeah, I grew up in Berkshire, so not too far away.
Oh,
I thought you might be from. I imagined you were from like Newbury or somewhere. like in Buckinghamshire or something. It sounds really similar. It sounds really
Yeah.
similar to where I grew up.
Mm. Yeah.
Nice.
You probably didn't guess that, judging by my name.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, nice. Oh, thanks for calling in. Nice to speak with you, Luca.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.